Hello YouTube, it's your average everyday nerd here, Sean Trawlerus, with his first top 10 list. For my first top 10 list, I decided to do something simple. As you can see in the title, it's my top 10 favorite video games of all time. I know it's obviously been done about 1,000 times, but I decided to make my very own. Unlike most videos where half the freaking video is the intro, I decided to just start right off the bat. So here we go, number 10. My 10th favorite video game of all time is Earthbound for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I'm sure that you've all heard about this series from Super Smash Bros. However, many of you have not played it. Although it did not sell very well in the United States, it is still worth a try. Otherwise, that just really wraps it up for number 10 on the list. Up next, number 9.
Welcome to Halo Reach!
Yep, my 9th favorite game of all time is Halo Reach. Although many fans didn't really like the game as much as Halo 3, I thought it was a very good game. The story of Halo Reach was more intriguing, for every once in a while a character would die, keeping it fresh and interesting, and you would be wondering who would be the one to go next. Also, the multiplayer on Halo Reach was fun as hell. You could customize your character with the best customization system of all time, in my opinion. Also, Halo Reach had the best maps of any Halo series. I loved Halo Reach so much that when I got Halo 4, I was disappointed. This is why I like Halo Reach. Up next would be number 8 on the list, and for number 8, I would pick Pokemon Emerald. Not only is it one of my 10 favorite games ever, it is also my favorite Pokemon game ever, for it got me started with this series. In fact, I have some awesome Pokemon still from Emerald version awaiting Pokemon Bank. Also, with the atmosphere of Pokemon Emerald in the Hoenn region, it also just gives me a warm nostalgic feeling every single time I play it. Up next is number 7 on the list, which is a game that is considered very overrated by some. This game is Portal 2. Before you leave the video expecting me to make some overused Portal joke, trust me, this is a no Portal joke area. What makes me love Portal 2 is just the atmosphere of the game. You're stuck in an abandoned factory, which I think is amazing. I think that's just really cool. And also, the voice acting is incredible. It seems like a lot of time was put into the game. And who could forget all the Easter eggs hidden in this game? You know, I loved finding each and every single one of Ratman's lair. I just felt intrigued by that, and it was phenomenal to me. I just love that. And with many good jokes and an amazing fan base of the series, this has given me Portal 2 as the rank of number 7 on my top 10 games of all time. The number 6 spot for this list would be Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, the HD version to be specific. Although many fans of the series completely loathed the new cel-shaded form of Link, I personally enjoyed it. Also, the feeling of being in a vast open sea. The true feeling of adventure made this game feel as great as it is. Number 5 on this list was an easy choice for me, Mother 3. Mother 3 is easily the best game on the Game Boy Advance. And why this game was not released in America, I do not know. In fact, that should be a crime. Okay, there is many reasons why Mother 3 is awesome. First of the reasons is the villain, Porky Minch. Porky Minch is a crazy kid who is in a machine to keep him on life support. Spoilers. But he is just crazy, and he is one of the most well-written characters of this century. Also, who does not love that soundtrack? The soundtrack really is fitting throughout the entire game. And it can go from the saddest music you have ever heard into the most happy music you have ever heard. It is just an amazing, phenomenal, perfect game, which gives it the spot of number 5 on my top 10 list. Number 4, Tony Hawk's Underground, the first one. This freaking game, I love it so much. It is so fun, and if you have a friend over, you should take out this game, because this game is so much fun for 2 people to play together. especially the character editor. I know I said Halo Reach had the best character editor, which is true, but this game had a great character editor too. It was great because you didn't really need to unlock anything, you just had everything from the start. And each character you can make look as funny as possible, which made for some really good times in the 21st century. And seriously, who could forget the level editor? The level editor was amazing! It was so much fun! You could skateboard over a building into lava! And if that is not cool to you, then get out of my face! Up next on the list we have number 3, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. The game that is almost on every single top 10 list of all time. But seriously, let me explain why I just love this game so much. Well, it's simple, just the feeling of Hyrule Valley. The feeling of going 7 years into the future in a post-apocalyptic world. I mean, that is just so cool. And meeting the 7 sages. The whole game is just way too good. This would have been number 1, but it took me a while to not put this at number 1, in fact. So yeah, that's it for number 3, Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time 3D. Number 2 on the list, Super Mario 64 DS. Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64 was already an amazing game. And who thought that they could even make such an amazing game even better? And you know how I said earlier, if you wanted to have a good time with your friends, so play Tony Hawk's Underground? Well, if you want an even better time with your friends, play this game! The multiplayer is amazing! I've spent hours playing with my friends for the multiplayer of this game. Hours. And for such a low-powered system like the Nintendo DS, the DS, this was the best quality Nintendo DS game. It even improved upon a console, the Nintendo 64's graphics, which amazes me on how it did that. And you know, you could switch between characters and each character did something different. It's reused from Super Mario Bros. 2, which was a really good game, despite a lot of people hating it, and it was even reused for Super Mario 3D World, one of the newest Mario installments, which obviously says that it was a good idea and everyone seems to love it. So despite how enthusiastic I am over Super Mario Bros. 64 DS, we are going down to number 1. Okay, my favorite game of all time, BioShock, the Xbox 360, PC, and PS3. In my opinion, BioShock is the greatest first-person shooter ever made to date. And for a franchise so big and having such great selling games such as the Halo series, the Battlefield series, the Call of Duty series, I think that gives BioShock a huge leading edge. And the feeling of walking around a forgotten utopian society that is freaking underwater, which if you don't think that is cool, it is the coolest thing ever! It's so cool! But, okay, so in BioShock, seriously, just the feeling of a forgotten place, it's all dark, you feel like something's gonna come out and get you. That is like the best feeling for a video game, seriously. So that just about wraps it up. So let's do a read over of my top 10 favorite games. Earthbound, Halo Reach, Pokemon Emerald, Portal 2, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD, Mother 3, Tony Hawk's Underground 1, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D, Super Mario 64 DS, and BioShock. So that concludes for my top 10 list of all my favorite games of all time. If you would like to see more top 10 lists, please leave a like or a comment. And then this is Sean Trollerus signing out.